Hi there, it's Jade from SACS here to introduce you to the new SACS Psychometric Assessment Portal. If you are a current client of SACS, you'll notice a big difference in the user interface as well as the features and functionality available to you. And we've got brand new reports which offer a lot more information and interpretation at your fingertips, which is great. We've been working on the development of the new portal for some time now, and we're really pleased to share with you what we believe is a more user-friendly and informative and value-adding service for your organisation. We've had some current clients trialling this new version of the portal, and their feedback has been really positive, particularly with our enhanced reports, which I will take you through shortly. If you're a new or prospective client of SACS, there's never been a better time to utilise our assessments as part of your recruitment or internal development processes. Before we look at the new portal, some key features that you haven't previously had access to is that you're now able to cancel candidate assessments within the portal. As we operate on a credits basis, so credits that have been used to set up a candidate, should that candidate ultimately withdraw from the process and not commence any of the assessments, you're able to cancel their setup and have the portal credits reimbursed back into your account straight away. You're also able to edit candidate details. So perhaps you've set up a candidate and you've incorrectly spelt their name or their email address. You're able to amend these details within the portal. And you're also able to resend invitation emails to candidates. So should you want to remind them or provide a gentle prompt, you can resend those invitation emails at any stage. Previously, you've had to come to us at SACS to action these types of requests, whereas now you have the ability to do it yourself within the portal. You're also able to set up new users for your portal account. So if you do have somebody new join your team, you are able to set them up with login details. We've also updated all of our resources in the new portal. So there are new interpretive manuals for each level of assessment that we offer, frequently asked question documents for both clients and candidates, as well as a library of explainer videos, which you should find really helpful. And last but not least are our brand new reports. These are interactive HTML reports that you can view in a web browser, or you can also save as a PDF. And what we've done is include color-coded risk ratings across the entire report to make it easy for the reader to identify a favourable result, a neutral result which is acceptable, or perhaps a result that is concerning. In addition to this, we've also included next to every single result within the report, hover over text, which provides you with a brief explanation of what the measure is, as well as a link to a brief video that you can view, which gives you a professional interpretation of the measure and what it means in a workplace setting. The new version of the portal will run in parallel with the current version for the next few months. So you do have plenty of time to familiarize yourself with the new user interface. However, we would strongly encourage you to jump across given the significant improvements that have been made and more information available to you. And so, welcome to the homepage of the new portal. What we've included on the homepage are your most commonly used actions. And so when you log into the portal, if you wish to set up a candidate straight away, you can do so with just one click. You can also view recently completed reports, purchase credits. As I mentioned, we work off a credit system, and you can click straight into our resources, which, as I mentioned, include interpretive manuals, FAQs, and some video resources for you. Please keep an eye on the news feed. We will update this regularly with handy hints about our psychometric assessments, about particular measures, about things that you should be looking out for in your reports. We'll also be including information about our workshops. We run an extensive event calendar with complimentary online workshops as well as paid masterclass events. You'll see the example here is a 2-hour workshop on leadership in tough times. You'll also see here on the homepage recent assessment groups that you've set up. These can be renamed, so you could perhaps have job titles that you set up particular candidates in. So again, with one click of a button, you're able to go straight into that assessment group. On the homepage, you're also able to access your usage and look for the past 12 months, how many credits you've used on a monthly basis, just by scrolling over the particular month that you're interested in understanding. If we move across now to what you're able to do via the toolbar on the left-hand side, you'll see there is another option for you to purchase credits. So wherever you are in the portal, you'll see the purchase credits option here. Now you're able to purchase credits in bulk. or you can purchase on a candidate by candidate basis, and you're able to pay either by credit card or you can choose to receive an invoice. In the portal, you're also able to create new users. So if you do have a new person start in your team that needs access to the portal, you're able to set them up by completing their details here. Simply fill out their name, email address, position title, and contact number, set them up with a password, and when that person logs in, they're able to go in and reset that password themselves as well. And if you would like that person to be notified via email when candidate reports are ready to be viewed, as well as add new users like I've demonstrated here, simply tick that primary contact box. If we move to the expenditure report section of the portal now, what you can see is a full transaction history of credits purchased and credits used. You see the quantity of credits here, and you see the corresponding dollar value as well in this column on the right-hand side. You're able to filter this by date, and you can choose to only see credits purchased or only see credits used. And for any data that you'd like to export for internal purposes, you're able to do that by selecting that download button there. That will export the figures into an Excel spreadsheet for you to use. You're able to search as well. You're also able to select the expense by services section, and you're able to see in terms of dollars what you spent on a monthly basis. Looking at the assessments group page, what you have access to here is the entire history of assessment groups that have been set up for your account. You're able to filter this by most recent date to the oldest date that an assessment group was set up, and you'll see the number of candidates that are associated with that assessment group. You've got the search function if you are looking for a particular group. Perhaps you have more than what fits on the one page. And by accessing the group, you can see the candidates that have been set up and then access their reports that way. Moving to the setup candidates section, this is quite similar if you are a previous user of the old version of the portal. What you've got here is your saved groups. So these are assessment groups that have been set up specifically for your account, as well as any custom groups that you've created yourself when setting up candidates. The most popular groups tab shows you our standard suite of assessments that we offer. And if you click through those, you'll get an understanding of what is included and the approximate time it takes for people to complete the assessment. And job-specific groups, we've got a number of options here. And what you can see, just say you wanted to assess candidates being considered for an accounting role. What we've done is we analysed the profiles of hundreds of accountants that had completed our assessments in the past. And so your candidate, their results will be compared to that significant sample size. You'll see green ticks where the candidate has positive characteristics associated with accountants, and red crosses where the particular candidate hasn't met that benchmark. To set up a candidate, simply select the assessment that you would like them to complete. I'll use our premium assessment work-worded version for this example. And then it's a matter of completing the candidate's details. So all you need are the candidate's name and email address. You can enter the position that they're being considered for here. That's not a mandatory field. If you have multiple candidates, you can simply keep adding rows as you need. Otherwise, once you're ready to proceed, you're taken to the next stage where you can choose any of our additional measures. If you do add any of the additional measures, what you'll see on the right-hand side is a running total of what the assessment will cost you in terms of credits. When you're happy with the assessments that you've chosen, click on Next. And what you can see here is that the green tick represents that this person does not exist. If you see a red cross, you'll also see a message which is directing you to SACS. Now, that could be because the candidate has existing results in the system, and we will get in touch and follow that up on your behalf. With this combination, because we've added 2 additional measures, you've got the ability to save this assessment combination for future use. And so perhaps you do want to save this and you want to call this a manager test. Simply rename that and it'll appear in that assessments group page that I showed you earlier. It also updates the title at the top here. What you see here is your current credits balance, the cost to set up this candidate, and what your balance will be after setting up that candidate. To be able to set the candidate up, you do need to read and agree to our disclaimer acknowledgement. And so this is in line with our ethical obligations. So it's agreeing that you will not provide a copy of the results to the candidate. If the candidate does inquire, please redirect them to us at SACS and we'll be happy to assist them. Select that you've acknowledged that and simply click on Finish. And you'll see that the candidate has been set up for you. A couple of features which are new to this version of the portal is the ability to send a reminder email. If you do have any candidates whose status is pending, that means that they are yet to commence any of the assessments. Simply click on these two arrows here and you'll see that that's resent the reminder email to them. You're able to access this through the candidate section or through the assessments groups tab. You're also able to cancel their assessment. So should the candidate withdraw from the process or you ultimately decide not to proceed, provided their status is still pending, you'll see that you have the ability to cancel the assessments. And when you cancel the assessments and confirm, that will do that for you. And you'll see that the portal credits are automatically reimbursed to your account and the status of the candidate will then say cancelled. Moving to the candidates section of the portal now, you've got access to your entire history of candidates that have been set up within your account. You're able to filter by date, show the full list of candidates, and we do have the search function there. If you are looking for older results, a simple search here will bring up that candidate detail. And by clicking on their name, you're taken to their profile and you'll see their previous report. Also available in the candidate section of the portal is the ability to edit candidate details. So if you do have a misspelling of the candidate's name or email address, you can go through and click on the edit button there and then update the candidate's name or email address. In doing so, that's updated automatically. If you're interested in understanding the different types of assessments that are most frequently used in your organisation, this is where the product usage page will be helpful. Simply select the date which you'd like to know from, click show, and then you'll be shown the different assessments that you've used. And so we've got the CCA representing the premium assessment, aptitudes, the care worker assessment, the short psychological risk assessment, and other, which typically is a custom assessment where you've added some of the SACS additional measures. You're shown this in dollars excluding GST on a monthly basis. Just to talk you through the final 3 pages within the portal, we've got the news page here on the left-hand side, which is an expanded version of what you see on the home page here. The referrals page is for you to submit a referral if there is someone that you know at another organisation or somebody within your professional network who's seeking to explore implementing psychometric assessments. Simply provide their details. SACS will be notified of that and we will reach out to them and provide a free trial and seek to answer any questions that they may have. Should that organisation become a client of SACS and start to utilise our psychometric assessments, we'll provide you with some bonus portal credits as way of thanks, and we'll also provide some bonus credits to that organisation. And lastly, the resources page is your go-to source for any information about our psychometric assessments. You'll see we've got 3 main options: interpretive manuals for every level of assessment that we offer, as well as our additional measures that can be added to any assessment combination. We've got pricing and FAQ documents. The FAQs, there is a client version and a candidate version. So you may find that you get asked questions from candidates. Hopefully this FAQs document for the candidates will answer the majority of those. If there's anything that you're unable to answer, of course, you're welcome to come and contact us. Lastly, we've got explainer videos. So there are a number of videos that we have available for our clients to assist in understanding our psychometric assessments and some key themes as well. To quickly show you what the interpretive manuals contain, this is for the premium assessment work worded version. We provide a brief introduction and then we go through all of the components that the candidates complete. So you can see here verbal reasoning, a brief overview of what verbal reasoning is assessing, and then you can see that there is a behavioural question. So say, for example, you have a candidate that profiles in the below or well below average, or perhaps towards the lower end of the average range. Ideally, we would like to see at least an average result for verbal reasoning. That will give you a behavioural question, which you can use in a follow-up interview or when conducting reference checks to probe the area further.
If you do have any questions that aren't answered in any of the additional resources information available to you, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Our details are below this video.
Last but not least are our brand new reports. And so to access those, go to the candidates section. Now you'll see recently completed candidates appear straight away. If you do need to go back further, you can filter by date. Click on the candidate. The report section is there. You've got the option to view report there. Click on that and you'll be taken to our brand new interactive HTML reports. These can be viewed online if you are logged into the portal. If you do need to send this as a PDF document, perhaps internally to a hiring manager, you're able to save this as a PDF just by clicking that print or save button at the bottom there. What we sought to achieve when enhancing these reports was to add as much value and information for the reader as possible. And we've done this with explanatory text and access to tooltip explainer videos, where you can click on a result, be taken to a brief video, which explains the measure and what you need to be mindful of. It's also very easy to navigate through this report now. And so what you can see, it's completely interactive, taking you through to the relevant sections. What we've also done is include color-coded risk ratings on a traffic light system, where if it's a low risk, that's represented with green. If it's a medium risk, you can see the yellow there, and a high risk is red. SACS is always on hand. Should you require a second opinion or wish to discuss a report in more detail, please feel free to email us at any time. We have a dedicated inbox, assessments@sacsconsult.com.au, for any technical support, any advice about candidate results. One of the features which I've explained is new to these reports is the introduction of our hover over explanatory text and tooltip videos. So to access those, simply go to the result in question and hover over that eye icon, and you'll see a brief explanation of what the measure is. And then if you click here for a definition, you can see that we're taken to a tooltip explainer video, which you can play and hear our Managing Director, Andrew Marty, explaining the measure and what it means. You'll see that throughout the report, we've got those eye icons next to every factor and every measure, as well as that color-coded risk rating I explained previously. For some factors, there isn't a color-coded risk rating, and that's because it really depends on the role as to how important that particular measure is. And so extroversion, for example, does not have any colors associated because you don't necessarily have to be extroverted to perform well in particular roles. The same goes for openness to experience and soft-heartedness. Thank you so much for your time watching this video. I hope it's helpful for you in terms of navigating through and using the new version of the portal. We would welcome any feedback that you have after you spend some time using the new portal, so please feel free to reach out. We will seek to continue to improve and enhance our offering and our user experience any way that we can.